What is up, Zelda fans? It is your boy HMK once again, and Tears of the Kingdom is out and about, and I know that a ton of you guys are playing that, considering that it sold over 10 million units in like the first 3 days. That is insane, and I'm sorry for not uploading as much content because I'm in Japan right now, but I've been having a blast playing Tears of the Kingdom, and even though I've dumped a lot of hours into this, this is my first impressions. And honestly, you guys, this is hopelessly and hilariously becoming my favorite Zelda game of all time. I've got a lot to say and a lot to break down off my chest, but before we get into that, check this out. Welcome to the tracks within the stars, Honkai Starrail. It's the new multi-platform space fantasy RPG that's free to play from Hoyoverse, the makers of Genshin Impact. The game is taking the world by storm, and now within that storm, we welcome the newest character, Jing Yuan, a Cloud Knight general who leads the Shenzhou Luofu. Don't let his seemingly laid-back, carefree attitude fool you. He's got a calculating nature with a rough background. You can discover that rich lore yourself while also making use of his powerful, beautiful abilities. Utilizing the power of lightning, he deals tons of multi-target AoE damage to his foes. When combined with your party's abilities, you have a force of reckoning at your side, along with his ultimate that has a crazy special effect. Honkai Starrail is out now and you can download for free along with the arrival of Jing Yuan. Download the game for free with the link in the description box below and use my promo code for some extra Stellar Jades. Be sure to use Jing Yuan as you brave the storm in Honkai Starrail. This game is honestly insane. It is incredibly more ambitious than Breath of the Wild. It really does make Breath of the Wild look like a beta, a demo. Like, it's insane how much is jam-packed into Tears of the Kingdom. And what's even more impressive to me is how it runs. It runs beautifully on both handheld and docked. Breath of the Wild, it ran really good, but there are some parts where it just couldn't keep up, especially, the Korok Forest. But Tears of the Kingdom, with this being like a 6-year-old console, Tears of the Kingdom is really pushing the Switch to its limits, and it is like hilarious how well this game runs. Honestly, I've put more than 50 hours into this game despite being, abroad out in Japan, and I honestly don't think I've ever, came close to endgame or anything like that. And the game's side content is hilarious because it has me through a chokehold. I've been wanting to get through the story, which I have been through the use of memories and all of that, but like all of the stuff that I can do in Tears of the Kingdom, both in the overworld, the Sky Islands, and the gigantic underground, the depths. Remember when people were saying that the depths weren't going to be as big or nowhere near as big? It's probably going to be like small little sections. No, if you've been living on rock and haven't been able to play Tears of the Kingdom yet, the depths, yeah, it's pretty much like double the surface map on top of the Sky Islands. This is an insane game. I've only completed one dungeon so far, one main dungeon, and this truly feels like its own different dungeon. I mean, it does have a bit of flavor from the Divine Beast in Breath of the Wild, but Tears of the Kingdom is all of its own in terms of dungeons, in terms of structure, and once again, in terms of, things that you can do. Also, the difficulty of this game, it doesn't feel as spiked all that over Breath of the Wild, but it does feel like a very dire game compared to that of Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom is insane in terms of what the enemies can do to you, how many enemies can bum rush you. All of this stuff is like truly insane, especially the aspect of gloom, which in this game, it's this game's version of HP shredding, and to have that in Zelda is insane. So I hope you guys are stocking up on anti-gloom stuff, because if you don't have that in the underground, then you're in for a bad time. And the craziest part about Tears of the Kingdom is that not only in terms of gameplay, which is being answered from all of the supposed problems from Breath of the Wild, like weapon breaking and even slipping, there's anti-slip potions in this game. Nintendo is definitely listening. But it's also the story of Tears of the Kingdom. Now, trust me, like I am nowhere near, I don't think I'm nowhere near done with the story, but from what I've seen so far, like, it's way better structured, it's way better, like, it's way more cohesive than Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild is always around that aspect of a mystery, trying to find out what happened to Hyrule 100 years ago, how Link fell, all of that stuff. And while there is a good amount of mystery of Tears of the Kingdom, the story is way more straightforward, cohesive, and thanks to that, it's a lot more deeper and interesting than that of Breath of the Wild, considering all of the characters that are being involved in Tears of the Kingdom, both in real time and what you see through the Tears of the Kingdom. Now, when you actually play the game, you find out why they call it Tears of the Kingdom. And also the weaponry, the fusing, the ascend ability, all the Zonai abilities, and all of the stuff. And like, guys, if you haven't found auto build, go look for it. I probably might make a video or two on how to find and use auto build to this fullest, but man, that game really, that ability really breaks that game wide open. You know, it's funny because I'm trying to get some content out for Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm like, I need to get back into it. I need to play this game. It's insane, right? And honestly, it's way more enjoyed once you go at your own pace. And that is such a weird divide from that of Tears of the Kingdom going from Breath of the Wild into Tears of the Kingdom, because Breath of the Wild was, even though there was like a dire aspect, it's like, hey, listen, you see Calamity going around Hyrule Castle, go take care of it. There was always that sense of, like, you know, calm, relaxing aspect of going through nature and discovering what is in this wild of Breath of the Wild. But with Tears of the Kingdom, it's way more dire, and it does give you that sense of anxiety, but that's not a bad thing, because it gives you that, you know, sense like the world is truly at war in real time in Tears of the Kingdom rather than it was in Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, you know, Hyrule is on its last legs. We're gonna try and, you know, save the day and see what's up with the world. Tears of the Kingdom, the world is, you know, literally melting before your eyes, and it's a cool sense. It's a cool sense to see what's going on when it comes to the underground and the Sky Islands compared to that of what's happening on the surface. And you know, you guys, ever since I first booted up this game and I spent like 3 or 4 hours in the Sky Islands and finally making it back to Hyrule, it's just, they throw a lot of stuff at you all at once, and there's even more and more stuff to discover in terms of familiar places, unfamiliar places, places that have changed, and places that have been like added to Tears of the Kingdom. I'm telling you, look everywhere you can. You might find something new, or you might find something you may have not expected to be there. Like in Kakariko Village, there's this small waterfall. Like, you know, a little bit of spoilers, well, spoilers in terms of finding stuff. There's a little waterfall in Kakariko Village. When you go to the mouth of the waterfall, that leads to a whole cavern system. I didn't expect that to be there. That was like, you know, you guys ever play Banjo-Tooie? If you do, then you know what I'm talking about. That's crazy, right? So I really do wholeheartedly recommend this game so far. I want to try and play more, hopefully by the time I get back to America and have a better grasp and get my review and my other content out, because this game, this is it. This is truly special. This is a sequel. This is what all sequels should truly strive for so far. And I honestly don't see anything coming in this game that could ruin my experience. And for those that were, you know, doubting Nintendo, look at us now. That's crazy. Alright guys, so let me get back into Tears of the Kingdom. There is a lot more for us, all of us, to discover. So I hope you guys are having a good time, and I hope you guys are ready for more. So until next video, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.